YouTube, this guitar I've been working on, this now has emg81 and 60 pickups in it, which are from that Epiphone Explorer I had a few months back, if you remember that one. This is a Jackson, it's a Jackson, I'm not sure exactly what model, it doesn't have a model number written in the back, I was kind of hoping it would be there, but I think it's a, maybe not, maybe it's a set neck, it's kind of hard to tell, it's scoopy, so it could be a through, I think it's a set neck, but it's got the big scoop on it. Floyd Rose, I think that is a Floyd Rose Special, maybe, it doesn't say Special on it. To be honest, it looks exactly the same as the ones that are in my Ibanez ones. Maybe not quite the same. I think this is like the original first ever Floyd Rose was this type. Yeah, so it's set to D, which makes it sound a bit weird. Very loud are active pickups. And they're not for the kind of music I play. Active pickups, basically, I think is the bulk of the problem. But this has got a very Jackson Charvel neck on it, kind of big shoulders on it. Now you look at it, it's like a sort of, it seems very square here, and then it's not too fat that way. So it's like a sort of, it's kind of. I'm going to get one of those things, you know, they're always red plastic. Joiners use them for getting angles. Used to have one, don't know what I did with it. So I could actually, you know, show you what the neck profile looks like. Yeah, but I mean, does this, you can see where it's made? Indonesia, an ISJ17. So 17 will be the year. Got obviously got some sort of burl maple top on it, stained blue. A very pretty looking guitar. This is, and it's got fancy fret markings. That might be. Yeah, that's an ebony fingerboard. I would have put it as. I was looking at it wondering if it was some sort of plastic, but it's got grain in it, so it's an ebony fingerboard. I've not actually. I've just noticed right there. I'm still stretching the strings in, so I've not put this on. So I'll not be using excessive tremolo action till later on in the video. Not that I think it'll go out of tune. Just one of those things that, you know, once you clamp it up and then play it for an hour, the strings have all stretched in. Annoyingly, my pal Alan's wanted it in D sharp, which my tuner doesn't currently do. So I've got a secondary tuner sitting in there. But what you're meant to do, what I think where the EMGs or active pickups in general come in, which doesn't actually work for, I think Dave Gilmour used them as well, so it doesn't work for him, but the kind of guitars I normally have with the sort of DiMarzio Super Distortion type pickups, those pickups were designed to distort early into an amp, because amps at the time, some of them didn't have a gain channel as such. You know, if you wanted it more distorted, you just turned the volume up. Whereas, so something like a DiMarzio Super Distortion is actually designed to distort with not that much gain on it, which suits me fine. You know, I mean, put me into a clean amp, and you know, with the DiMarzios, if you battered it hard, you could start pushing the preamp and getting a bit of gain on it, or just use a rat pedal or something. But the problem with that is, though, if you're trying to do much more aggressive, moderner heavy metal, not that I'm saying Anthrax are particularly modern, but you know, more modern than the 60s, there's only so much gain you can put into like vintage type pickups before you just lose all note definition and ends up just being, you know, with more gain. Whereas I kind of like it clean, and then small amount of gain really breaks it up. So I have actually plugged in my Nux Recto pedal, because it's kind of what I think it's more what these sort of pickups are for. Actually, I've never really got the hang of that pedal. Use my what I'm calling the Sabbath pedal. See, that's kind of like my fuzz pedal, and it kind of turns it into a bit more of a muddy mess on most of my guitars, but on this it's still dead clear. Which is good for punching through the mix. They just work in a slightly different way. My rat pedal. How's it? I think it's more modern Metallica than that really you want the EMG pickups for, because there is actually a. I've got the box for one here. Oh God, it's so dirty. I wonder, did I tell you what the James Hetfield Dusty signature set, which this is not. I wonder what is in it. It doesn't really tell you. I'm wondering what numbers, because obviously the emg60 must mean something in emg81. 81 is the one that we know about. You always see, but this is just the empty box for the James Hetfield set, which are EMGs. I don't know what numbers they are. I was hoping on the front of the box it would say, in this James Hetfield set you get an emg81 and a 60. To be honest, those are the two I've always heard about. I hope the owner doesn't mind, but I've noticed that the wee EMG logo, which is quite small. This one is a sort of chrome, and this one is grey. The actual logo. I don't think that'll matter. They're not new. But I wonder if different EMGs have different colours on them. Maybe the 60s are always that sort of more of a sort of grey logo, and then the 81s get that, and maybe some of them's got like a sort of black logo or something. I don't know. But it was actually quite good working on this guitar, because see, if you look at the size of the cavity, it's huge, and all there is in it is, you know, a knob, two knobs and a switch. So it's like quite often with these things you're trying to put, these are active pickups, so these are 9-volt battery on them. Quite often it's quite difficult to try and wedge in a 9-volt battery. You know, you have to kind of move stuff and solder in a certain way to get it in. This one you could get half a dozen batteries in there if you really wanted to. So the battery is literally just wrapped in bubble wrap and stuck in the back compartment. You could put a compartment in for it, but I'd just much rather. I wish more folk would have a big cavity just in case you want to put more stuff in. It's always handy, and it's probably a cost-saving measure. Well, I don't know. I don't think that this isn't the sort of guitar I can imagine having more knobs. You know, maybe something like a Les Paul. You could get like, you know, it was a Les Paul's got 4 knobs, and there is a cheaper version, like the Epiphone ones only have 2. So you know, you can just have a weird cavity, but if you wanted to put 4 in, it'd be difficult. Whereas this, maybe there's a version with 2 tones or something. I don't know. I'm going to try and put something in. complicated loop. Recto pedal. Oh. I have to say that it really does. That pedal and these pickups really do much more than any of the other guitars I have can do. Yeah, see there, I'm able to have ridiculous amounts of distortion, but you can still hear actual notes. So, yeah, oh dear. So, just another quick video. I'm just rattling out videos as I'm doing them. I'm kind of ganging up on me now. I've got quite a lot coming out, so I've no idea what day you'll see this. Yeah, so I've actually done a video on this guitar before when I definitely recognise it. I definitely set this up because it's playing really well. So this time all I did was the guy wanted to upgrade the pickups. I had Seymour Duncans in it before, which Alan I've put back in your case. One thing, Alan, if you're watching this, see when you plug in the lead, right? It's a stereo socket, right? Because it's a thingy. It's quite, it kind of wants to sit there, which is not fully in. Which actually, there's some leakage, but that's not connected up. So you have to push it in. It's quite a, it's not super hard to push in. Not I've got a hard guitar, you know, guitars that are a bit harder than that, but it's because it's got the stereo clip. There's two stages. There's the first one where it clips onto the stereo bit, and there's the second one. So you just make sure you push it in fully, otherwise it doesn't work. Because it kind of feels, when you push it in, it does click on the first stereo thing, but it's not in. Yeah, but apart from that, all good. And I think I might have stolen your 9. I need the 9-volt battery. I don't have another one, so you might get it back without a battery. And you can develop some sort of intricate way of putting it in there. Just wrapping it in bubble wrap, sticking it in there so it doesn't shorten anything. It's good enough. And it doesn't rattle about, so that's fine. But I mean, you can buy wee clips. I used to have them, but the reason I've not spent ages hunting for one is because I'd spent ages hunting for one about 6 months ago and couldn't find one. I remember buying them from China or something like that. Just like, you know, like literally like a plastic clip thing with a screw hole in it, so you could screw it to the inside of the guitar, and then the 9-volt battery actually clips into it. Didn't have any, or did it? I don't think it had contacts on it. I think it was literally just like a wee thing like that clipped on. You must be able to buy one of them if you wanted to go super pro on it, or just wrap it up in bubble wrap or a bit of foam or something like that to stop it rattling about. But yeah, no, I totally get why my pal's doing this. One of his other guitars, I think it's his main guitar, is another Jackson's, a Flying V, and it's got a white EMG in the bridge, which I think I fitted, but I definitely fitted in a fake pickup in here, which was lots of fun. Basically just so there wasn't a hole, because he only wanted one pickup in it. So I got a white cover, and is it a sponge? I can't remember how I managed to get it to attach, because obviously the pickup cover doesn't have the wee tabs to screw in, so it's just like, I think it's a bit of sponge with a screw through it, or rubber or something like that. You know, it's not doing anything. I just basically figured if it was a bit of rubber, it's not going to, as long as it doesn't rattle. But if you're running, like the problem I'm having right now, but not really getting this guitar to work properly with this setup is, I don't think it. If you've got two guitars you're playing live, for example, like your guitar and a spare one, it's a different. The EMG pickups are different from normal pickups. So you would ideally want to have either both with similar pickups, or at least normal pickups, but having an active one. You know, if you're switching guitars, it's like all your amp settings will all change and stuff like that because they've got a different frequency response. Yeah, so that'll do me apart from the one thing of what an active pickup actually is and why they exist. I gotta do that every time. I talk about this every time. It's basically a very, very low, you know, like a pickup's just a magnet with a wire wrapped around it 6,000 times, 10,000 times, something like that. These are a much, much weaker magnet, and it's got much less wire on it, which means it picks up less interference, right? Because there's less of it. It's less of an aerial to pick up interference, so they're much cleaner. The downside of that is they're not very loud. So they've actually got a preamp built into the actual pickup, which has got, so the pickup's got an extra wire that you run the 9-volt battery into. So it's got like it's like preamped. So they're really, really, really weak pickups. But because they're really, really weak, they've got you can have them really, really close to the strings, and the magnets, because the magnet's dead weak, it doesn't affect the strings the same way. You know, it's like if you put obviously a big, massive, too many magnets, something like the Turbo Lover with its 5 pickups in it. Yeah, it does kind of, you know, the magnets kind of hold the strings a bit, so they don't vibrate quite as freely. So there's an element of that to get this, and basically because there's no interference, you can get them much cleaner, and because they're much cleaner and there's less information, less extra stuff on it, what's the word looking for? Interference, not information. Because there's less interference, that's probably why they run lots and lots and lots of gain better. Because the problem is, if you've got lots of interference and you turn it into the gain, into like a high gain situation, the high gain does take the guitar signal and boost it, yeah, totally, but it also takes all the interference and boosts it, and it kind of overwhelms the actual signal of the strings rather than just amplifying, you know, the static. So these don't have static, which is why they managed to get, and it means you can get that really sound really dead. You know, if you've got like normally get tons of gain on, you go it's kind of and then you've got all this fizzing going in the background. With these you can kind of get a much tighter is the word I was looking for, much tighter bass response and all that. Depends what kind of music you listen to. Anyhow, Jackson, I'll look up and see if I can find out what model number it is. Not a cheap one though, because it's I'm going to say not through neck, because you can't actually see it running through there, so I think set neck, but I'm not sure. Mind you, to be honest, what difference would it make? Like my pal said when I got my Washburn A20, which is it is through neck, and it's got a cavity in it like for the tremolo. So here's your 1 2-piece neck, goes all the way to here, but there's a big massive hole cut out here, which is kind of like, all right, okay. Whereas this one, being a set neck, it maybe only comes into there. So what are you actually losing? What's the difference between this and a through neck? You know, like half an inch of width there is about all there is in it. Through necks are nice. I mean, obviously, do you want a through neck or a normal neck? I'll have a through neck because they're more expensive to build and they look cool. And obviously, there's no advantage here with because you get super high fret access. Yeah, rocking. So cool guitar. Not my style. I don't know. Too metal for me. Not the right kind of metal for me. I don't know. I do like it though. Nice guitar. But I don't think I would have one. I'd never... Oh, I had an 8-string Jackson. I was going to say I'd never had it. I've never owned a Jackson. I did have an 8-string one, which I couldn't play. But that was because it was 8-string. Didn't matter how good a guitar it was. If it had been a 6-string one like this, I would have kept it. Rock on. Catch you later.